and have a little talk with the chat. I'm gonna let the chat come up. Obviously, I'm going back home again. I'm trying my best just to do videos in general, just to go live and talk to you guys because your boy's been busy, as all of us, as many of us. But I do want to say this, okay? And I've been seeing this pretty often. So I want to say that this is just anecdotal evidence. I want to just say that, oh, it's just a couple people that I've heard and now I'm making too big of a deal of it. What's up, Isaacs? I just want to say that. Like, that's something that I just want to say, but that's something that I genuinely can't say with a straight face. Okay, I've been seeing so much criticism for Gregg Popovich, like, and a substantial amount of criticism. Like, even on my last video where I said, yes, focus on some of the things we don't have in order to see how good we really are, how good we can be in the future. Many people straight up have said, yo, Clan, we are good enough. It's just that Pop sucks. And it's like, what the hell? What are you talking about? That Pop sucks. Like, that's what I've been seeing. I've been seeing a lot of that. I've been seeing a lot of Clan, Popovich just sucks. I don't know what to tell you. Like, at this point, honestly, this is just how I feel. The San Antonio Spurs are in a position where I don't think that we would even be in this position without Pop. But that's besides the point. Who cares? Popovich has given so many years to this franchise, basically given us 5 championships. And I know a lot of people will say, oh, that's in the past. That's in the past. What have you done for me lately? But this what have you done for me lately attitude that a lot of Spurs fans are starting to have is really irritating and is really disgusting, in my opinion. This whole thing of what has Popovich done in the last 2 years is so stupid to me. Like, are we just going to erase the fact of all the different obstacles and hurdles that have been in Popovich's way over the past, 3-4 years? Since what happened with Kawhi? Like, we're just going to ignore that? Dude has a lot of obstacles in his way right now. But even with that being said, Popovich is the GOAT. What are you going to do? Yeah, let's just say, you know what? Popovich created the Spurs culture. We all know this. I can go on a whole tirade about how Popovich has created the Spurs culture and we wouldn't be what we are today if it weren't for Popovich. I can do that. Hey, how about we just keep it right now? Since all these fair weather fans are all about what have you done for me lately, let's do some what have you done for me lately. Yeah, can you give me one coach that you would rather have in the seat in San Antonio than Gregg Popovich? Let's just talk about an active coach. Is there any active coach that you will want right now that you think could do a better job than Gregg Popovich? Any coach? Any coach that you will want right now that you say, oh yeah, if he was on the team, we're definitely winning championships. Anybody? Ty Lue? And bro, you trolling. Oh my God, you guys are not memeing me right now. Oh my gosh, you guys are not memeing me right now. He's memeing. Scott Brooks, you guys are memeing. It's a meme. It's a meme. You guys are memeing. This is a troll. These are trolls. You guys trolling me right now. You guys are trolling me. I know. Yeah, Jason said I'm kidding. Good, because you got to be trolling me right now. Say, hell, yeah. How about we just say Stan Van Gundy, Doc Rivers? I don't know. You just throw any coach in there. Like, nobody's touching Popovich. My point is, we're so eager. Spurs fans are so irritating to me right now because I guess that I always saw the Spurs franchise. And I always saw the Spurs fans as a group of individuals that's more so dignified and we're cool and we're nice and we're just grateful to have the Spurs, right? We're just grateful. We're just grateful that we can have a franchise that's so consistent and, constantly trying to get better. We're just grateful for that. No, the Spurs franchise, or at least the Spurs fans, not the franchise. The Spurs fans are literally the same as any other fan base. I'm just going to be honest. Now, don't get me wrong, plenty of you guys are cool. Like, a lot of you guys are cool. But it's a lot of, and I'm not talking about the people even in the chat right now. It's a lot of people that's coming out, these Spurs fans that's coming out of the woodworks, that's out of nowhere. Never seen them in years, even on Instagram. Never seen these people before. And now all of a sudden they're coming to talk trash about the Spurs, saying we're trash, we're this, we're that. It's like they've just been waiting for us to be a bad team or something. It's so weird. I know that we're going to be spoiled. Like, it's okay to be spoiled. But when we start to get to the point where we're actually so delusional that we're actually saying that there's a coach that we would rather have in the helm than Gregg Popovich, you're high. Like, I don't know what to tell you. That's just dumb. It's like, there is no argument there. It's just dumb. It is. It's just dumb. He created the franchise. Like, it's just dumb. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. It's stupid. He created the culture. It's so stupid. It's just dumb. Like, don't get me wrong, Popovich can be stubborn. He can. He's human. He can make mistakes. We can criticize. It's okay to criticize Pop, okay? It's okay to come out and say, Pop, man, I wish Pop was doing this, or I wish Pop was playing this guy. That's okay. But when you start getting to the point in your delusional brain where we get to the point where we're saying that Popovich needs to go, I don't know what to tell you anymore. Like, I don't know what to say to you. Because the same stubbornness from Popovich, the same stubbornness, the thing that you hate, you also love it. Because if Popovich didn't have that amount of stubbornness in his characteristics as a person, if he didn't have that, he would have never won 5 championships. It just is what it is, man. Like, you can't ding somebody for a character trait which is the same character trait that makes them a genius, or the same character trait that makes them great. He believes in what he does. He believes in the ideology of making players better, whether it means they play on the court or not. And I know that sounds silly. It's like, well, they have to play to get better, don't they? Not necessarily. He believes in growing you mentally, making you mentally prepared. He believes in you having to earn your spot. And we were cool with that for years. We were always cool with that when we had Tim Duncan and we had Manu and we had Tony. But now we're expecting Popovich to just change everything. Popovich has changed tremendously over the last 3 decades. I would argue that Popovich is the most flexible coach in the history of the NBA. I would argue that. I would argue that Popovich is the most flexible coach we've ever seen. His willingness to go to the 3-ball, his willingness to change from a big man team to a smaller team, his willingness to bring in guys that have a little bit more of a personality. I'm sorry, Popovich has changed, and he's continuously changing with the game. But one thing that's been consistent with Popovich is going to be his stubbornness when it comes to minutes. He's going to be stubborn about it. And we can have disagreements with it. We can say, oh man, Popovich, you just played this guy. Oh, Popovich, you playing this guy. But you should not get to the point where we're saying that Popovich is trash and Popovich needs to go and we need a new coach to take over in San Antonio. That's dumb. I'm sorry. That is stupid. I don't mean to just, call you a name. If that's you, if you're that person that say we need a new coach, I just think it's dumb. Now, if we're talking about, okay, I just saw a comment. I saw Becky. The comments kind of come and go when it's on here for me. I don't know why it does that. But I thought somebody mentioned Becky. That's perfectly fine. Like if somebody said, oh man, I can't wait for Becky to be coach. It'd be cool when Becky's coach. But we should never be trying to push Popovich out the door. That should never be a damn thing. That shouldn't have been a thing with Timmy. It shouldn't have been a thing with Manu. Shouldn't have been a thing with Tony. And it sure shouldn't be a thing with Popovich. Popovich can stay as long as he wants. Popovich, in my opinion, Popovich could stay 30 more years if he wanted to. He could. I'll take 30 seasons. I would take 30 seasons of being trash if Popovich wanted to stay. I would be perfectly fine with it. Why? Because I'm loyal to that coach, because he's done so much for this franchise. I wouldn't be as big of a Spurs fan if it wasn't for Gregg Popovich. I wouldn't love the Spurs the way I love them if it wasn't for Gregg Popovich. He's brought me so many great memories. And I'm not talking to the people that are like, 13 or 12, 13, 14. Those are newer Spurs fans. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the ones that have at least been here a decent amount of time, or seen the Spurs, or been a fan a decent amount of time. That's been a fan at least a decade. I mean, how could you seriously say with a straight face that you don't, like, you want him gone? Like, how could you say that with a straight face? Because in my opinion, now I'm not one of those people that's just like, oh no, it's just straight up blind loyalty. But he's brought me so many memories as a Spurs fan till I am okay with him retiring when he's ready to retire. I will never kick Popovich out the door. There are so many trash coaches in the NBA. There's so many coaches that don't stand up to players. There's so many coaches that really don't have control over their locker room. There's so many coaches that don't know how to create a good game plan. There's so many coaches that just kind of cater to all their superstars just so they don't get fired. But we don't have that with Popovich. We have something special because he basically owns San Antonio. So, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because Popovich is that great. He's so much for us as a franchise. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh yeah, Popovich needs to go, or Popovich is just, just trash. He's old news. I don't know what to tell you. If that's your take, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what's going through your mind. I don't know. But the last thing that we need to do is get rid of Gregg Popovich. That man has done so much for this franchise. At this point, you're just being a jerk. You couldn't do a better job, and many other coaches couldn't do a better job than Gregg Popovich. I'm sorry. And to the thing with, I know I saw some comments saying that we do have talent, because yesterday I said that, well, we kind of lack talent in that regard. I guess what I really mean is, yeah, we have some talented players. Okay, we do have talented players. But I think that, and I hate using this word, but that like alpha dog mentality, I would say Mamba mentality, okay? I'll say that. I think that's a talent in and of itself, and I don't think we have a lot of that. I guess that's how I probably should have reiterated that. I think that the Spurs have a lot of talent. Like, obviously, DeJounte Murray's talented. Obviously, Keldon Johnson's talented. Devin Vassell's talented. Like, these are talented people, talented players, but I just think that right now we don't have that that Mamba mentality player that we can just kind of put the whole franchise on their back, we doing that with DeMar DeRozan, but obviously we know that that's not enough. But I don't know. That's all I was trying to say. I didn't mean to say that, dog on our players. Mike Bean said Spurs players are trash or doo-doo. That's basically what he said. They're not doo-doo. They're good. They're good players. It's just a matter of, I think my personal opinion is just a matter of experience. And we can just say, Popovich needs to do this, Popovich needs to do that. But in the end of the day, a year or two from now, when these players are really shining and really becoming, great players, we're going to be happy that we went through this. We're going to be happy that Popovich did what he did. And his theory and the way that he goes about business has been successful for so long. So what is the point? Like, what is the point of sitting here and criticizing it? Why don't we just wait and see? Because honestly, waiting and seeing with Popovich has brought us nothing but great things. So why don't we just wait and see? It's okay. It's okay to have seasons that aren't that great. And we're saying this, and we're saying all these negative things about the Spurs right now, but it's not even a guarantee that we're not in the playoffs. I still believe the Spurs can make the playoffs. But even with that being said, it really doesn't matter. Like, we know, okay, all of us, let's just be honest, we know the Spurs more than likely won't get too far. And I think that that's talent. I think that that's experience. I think that's a lot of things. I want them to make the playoffs for experience, but that's it. So whether we make it or we don't, it kind of doesn't matter. I'm just being honest. It kind of doesn't matter. It kind of doesn't matter. But my opinion is, if I had to put money on whether or not the Spurs can make it, I would lean more towards the Spurs making it. That's just me. Maybe that's just me being, a crazy Spurs fan. I don't know. Me being an optimist. I don't know. Enthusiastic, maybe. But at the end of the day, I think that a lot of Spurs fans are just getting out of hand. You're getting out of hand, man. You're out of pocket. Don't ever let that come out of your mouth that Popovich needs to go. And I'm going to be a little honest, okay? I'm going to be just a little honest. Some people want Popovich out because of their own personal gripes with Popovich. And it has nothing to do with the franchise. And I'm going to say this right now, all right? I'm going to say this right now, right here, right now, okay? And I don't care if this is coming across as controversial or not. I really do not care, honestly. If you want Popovich out of San Antonio because of his political views, because of what he said about the former president, because of what Popovich has stood up for and his own views on the world and what he wants, to change and things like that. If you want Popovich out because of that, you're not a Spurs fan. You're not a Spurs fan. You're a trash Spurs fan. You're not really a Spurs fan, because that means that your love for the Spurs is very conditional. You're not a Spurs fan. And I can give you an example of this to show you that this is what real fandom is. Now, if it's to the point where, somebody, a celebrity or anybody like that, even Popovich is standing up for something like, I don't know, something like murder, or you know what I mean? Like something crazy, right? If it's something like that, it's like, okay, I understand you trying to distance yourself from the franchise if it's very just really out there and it's just gross and it's just disgusting that he's standing up for that, or he gets into some legal trouble and it's like, I don't want to support him. Okay, I understand that. Same thing with like R. Kelly, right? The R. Kelly thing, people were big R. Kelly fans. I understand that you're not an R. Kelly fan anymore, and it's okay for that to be conditional. But if it's solely based on political views and that's why you don't like Popovich, that's why you want Popovich out, you're trash. You're a trash person. You're a trash Spurs fan. And when it comes to me, like a prime example of this would be Tom Brady, right? Prime example, Tom Brady. I don't agree with Tom Brady's political views, but by any means, okay? And it doesn't matter. You can already assume what side of the fence I'm on, but I do not. None of it. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with what he was doing, where he was keeping the hat and all that. I wasn't cool with it. That's just me. But that doesn't mean I'm not a Tom Brady fan. I love Tom Brady. Tom Brady's the GOAT. He's the greatest player of all time, in my opinion. Greatest quarterback of all time. I love me some Tom Brady. That's me not being conditional with my admiration for Tom Brady. You have different views on things, but if Popovich saying something pisses you off and you're like, therefore I don't like Popovich, then it's like, you're not a Spurs fan, bro. You're not. I'm sorry. Unless it's something that's heinous, unless it's some legal issue, you're trash. You're a trash Spurs fan. So I just want to say that. But that's besides the point. I want to get that out there, out the way too. I just wanted to get on here and talk about it a little bit, man, because the negativity surrounding Popovich's name is getting out of hand sometimes. So, but we're gonna be okay. I believe in the Spurs. Love me some Popovich. Popovich is the man. He's the GOAT, regardless of what anybody says. I don't care what you say. And at the end of the day, I think Popovich should be able to retire a Spur if he wants to, if he's inclined. You do not kick that old man out the door. That old man has done a lot for us. You ungrateful. I won't go. But yeah. All right, guys. I'll get with you later. Wait. What did Rich Boy say? I'll read that and then I'm gone. Rich Boy said, people better not use politics to say Popovich needs to go. Everybody has their own views. I agree. Exactly. Antoine, I love Pop. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I agree. And that was my whole thing. That's why I brought up Brady, because I don't agree with Brady, but shoot, dude, Brady is the GOAT. I love me some Tom Brady. All right, guys, I'll get with you later. Till next time, deuces.